Studio. Check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
And that beat right there that you hear in the background, ladies and gentlemen, is the opening of the biggest show in the world. I am The Dream. I'm on the mic with my boy, the Mad Hatter. Today is Friday, December 16th, and you don't have many days until Christmas is upon you, so make sure you're handling your business. Hat, what's up?
Very smooth transition to the weekend, Dream. I like it. I like it.
Little bit of money in your pocket, player?
A little bit. You know, I was 3 points away from calling the exact score in the Seattle Seahawks and LA Rams game. I called 27-3, and it was 24-3. If Russell Wilson doesn't throw that INT in the end zone at the end of the game, they probably would have kicked the field goal, and I would have been right on the money. But, hey, they covered the spread, and I'm laughing.
They did cover the spread, and you are laughing. It was absolutely, though. Did you watch it?
I did.
Okay, because it was like watching a baseball game.
It was, especially in the first quarter. But I got to be honest with you, Dream. I mean, the Rams did move the ball a little bit on that Seattle defense, and I was surprised about that. I mean, Gurley only had 38 yards, but, I mean, they did go up and down the field. They just weren't successful on fourth down conversions, and obviously, you know, trying to do some fakes and stuff like that did not work out and materialize for them.
Well, first of all, the Seattle Seahawks should be very happy that Fishbone was fired, like the rest of us are. But because Fishbone was in that particular game, the one thing I do think would have happened is a couple things. First of all, I know they wanted to be aggressive. I know they wanted to. They said if they were in the red zone, they were going to go for it on fourth down, and that's great. You know, coming out and having ball. Coming out and speaking like that. But the reality of the situation is you are on the road and you are in Seattle.
Right.
You are trying to get a win. You just have gotten this coaching position. On 4th and 1, where you were at that particular time in the game, a field goal was supposed to be kicked, not go for it on 4th and 1. And I know you got Gurley and whatever that goes with that, but that situation on the road in Seattle, no score had been up yet, you needed to kick a field goal in that spot. Because if you don't get the field goal, what it does is, and especially if you get stopped on fourth down, which they did, it gives more energy to the other side. I mean, you're going to pump up the defense that much more. Yep. You're going to pump up the crowd that much more. You're going to pump up, now the offense has to follow suit. So just the emotional lift alone, you have to kick a field goal in that particular spot. And I'm sure as coaching continues for, the Rams, he will figure out that position right there was a bad position to go for it on fourth down.
I got to be honest with you. I got to tip my hat to the Rams defense, though. I mean, they were hitting hard, Dream. They were just stuffing the run quite. The only thing is that, and I got to tip my hat also to Seattle because they did some trickery and some different plays that I have not seen them run before. Some reverses with passes and all this other stuff and, a lot of outside runs and jet sweeps and whatnot. So, I mean, they definitely dialed up some different stuff offensively.
To me, Seattle is one of the weakest teams going into the playoffs in football right now. And, I saw what Seattle did yesterday, and to me, it was just a cover-up of a team that's just not that good.
Yeah.
They're offensively not that good. They've lost Earl Thomas in their defense, which defensively makes them, as far as I'm concerned, inept as well. They've shown a lot of spots to a lot of teams how to beat them as far as an offensive scheme to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I don't see the Seahawks going far at all in the playoffs, and I'm not going to be fooled by the end of their schedule, which they play 3 cream puff games.
Who they got?
I'm not going to be fooled by the end of their schedule Here, let me pull it up because I know it's cream puff. Let me pull it up for you.
Well, they already clinched the NFC West. They already have.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
This is who they got left. They have left 8 of the Zizzer.
Okay.
At home in their house, and the Niners in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that on the screen last night. So
okay, so I'm not gonna fall for a blowout at 8 of the Ziz, and then a blowout of Cap or whoever starts over there with Chip, and then think, oh yeah, Seahawks are dope. Oh, they're ready to make their run. Oh, they're gonna be a problem. I'm not even buying into that. I am not. This team, they've got offensive line problems. They cannot run the ball. They cannot protect Russell Wilson. I don't like their wide receivers in big spots. I don't like their wide receivers in little spots either. I don't like their wide receivers. I don't like their offense at all. And their defense is vastly overrated as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Well, the thing is that they still have to continue to play. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if they can win out, they would become the number 2 seed in the NFC, which gives them basically a first-round bye and a home playoff game. And if Dallas Cowboys lose in the second week of the playoffs, then they would have home field advantage throughout. Now, they're 9-4-1. So, when you look at this here, I mean, they could have a pretty high seed, Dream.
I don't care if they have a high seed because I believe they can be beat in their house based on their – dude, it all starts with that offensive line. And you know as well as I know,
sure.
If you don't have you don't have to have an awesome offensive line like the Cowboys have, but if you don't have an offensive line that can at least give you some opportunities to do some things, Green Bay's defense, say what you want. The last few weeks, Green Bay's defense has been not really all that, okay? Green Bay's defense made Seattle look terrible.
Yeah, I get it.
Because their offensive line is that bad. Green Bay, one of their issues, even when their defense was playing well, they didn't have that great of a pass rush. So for Russell Wilson to be sitting back there and be stressed out and wilding around all over the pocket like he was in that particular game, just letting you know, this is not a good offensive line. Seattle is going to have problems moving forward in the playoffs. I don't care what anybody says. Everything that everybody's basing Seattle's stuff off of is based on prior years, prior teams, and prior performances. That is not who this team is this year.
Well, they're also basing it on their home victories. Because
sure.
On the road, they're not that good.
Sure. Oh, definitely not that good on the road.
7-0 at home right now. And obviously, I mean, you get Arizona at home. You get the Niners at home. You get the Rams at home. I mean, you get these interdivision matchups at home where they can pull away. But you also have another team, Dream, that's surprising everybody here, and that in the NFC is the Detroit Lions, who have to go to New York this week and play the New York Football Giants.
Well, the Lions, I mean, you think they're a surprise? I mean, I don't really think they're
9-4, hell yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
winners of 5 straight games, hottest team in football right now, alongside the
No,
Buccaneers.
I don't think they're the hottest team in football.
Well, they are, considering
I
the
mean,
streak.
they're hot, but I'm not going to say the hottest team in football. Listen, Detroit, come on, dude. Let's look at Detroit. You want to look at Detroit for a minute? Let's go over there and look at them for a minute. Now, I mean, the NFL watered-down product. I've been talking about it all season long. This Detroit team, yeah, I get what they've been doing. They beat the Colts. They beat the Saints. They beat the Bears. The Vikings are not good. I mean, look at their last 6 games. They beat the Vikings twice.
Yep.
They beat the Jags. They beat the Saints, and they beat the Bears. Come on, dude. Really?
Well, you know what?
So they're hot?
Well, they are hot, considering they won 5 games in a row. It's called winning.
Well, goddamn, put any of the top teams in the playoffs against those 6, and I think that they would win them all, too.
Well, don't let Seattle lose a game, because if they lose a game, and Detroit could have the number 2 spot.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I fully think this Detroit is better. I think Detroit's better than Seattle. Sorry, I do.
Really?
I'm telling you, I don't like Seattle. I think Detroit is better than Seattle. I really do. I'm talking about on both as a complete team. I think Detroit is better than Seattle because offensively, I think Detroit is better than Seattle is, and defensively, I think Seattle may be a little bit better, but not that much.
Really?
I do, yes.
Well, the Detroit Lions have had the ball bounce their way several times this year. I mean, they've won, I want to say, Dream, Wasn't there like 5 or 6 games in a row where they were down in the fourth quarter and won the game?
Yes, they were. They've
You know what
done
I mean?
that a lot. They've had a lot of success with that. But that's part of, sometimes that's part of football. You can be down. If you've had the lead most of the game, then all of a sudden at the beginning of the fourth quarter, you allow a kickoff return for a touchdown. Now you're down in the fourth quarter. So, you know what I'm saying? Some of that goes with the game of football. But yes, they've come from behind quite a bit. Hey, you know what? To me, that makes them battle tested, and they won't panic in the fourth quarter should they be down, or at any point should they not have the lead, they won't panic at all. I like this Detroit team. I'm not going to go crazy about them, but I do like them. I don't know that I still trust Matthew Stafford. Detroit is reminiscent of Atlanta and Cincinnati when you think playoffs.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Although
Okay.
they should have beat the Cowboys 2 years ago.
They should have beat
Remember
the Cowboys 2 years ago. I do remember that. And
But the Cowboys got the favor returned in Green Bay after that. So anyway, moving on here, Dream, you know that there is a primetime game going on, and that is with playoff implications. You got Tampa Bay going into Dallas this weekend.
Tampa Bay is going into Dallas this weekend. Very big primetime game. And, of course, the buzz has already started. Are we going to start Dak? Is Tony Romo going to get his shot?
So stupid. So stupid.
I love it.
So stupid. And that's been, they just create controversy, don't they?
You know what's cool, though? The loss to the Giants did get the Cowboy fans to shut up a little bit. So that is cool because the Cowboy fans have shut up a little bit since they lost to the Giants, which I've appreciated big time.
And you don't think there's any chance in hell that Tampa Bay can knock them off?
You want to preview that now?
Oh, man.
Or you want to save some steam?
I think, well, you know what? I don't think that this team is a pushover, being the Tampa Bay Bucks.
The Tampa Bay Bucks are not a pushover. And the Tampa Bay Bucks remind me of, very slightly, the Carolina Panthers. Because I see that, and I mentioned it last year about the Panthers. I don't care what anybody says because I think it kind of came to fruition this year. The Panthers had that schoolyard playground type. Cam get the ball, scramble, start running, and then throw the ball deep. And, everything seemed to go their way. I seem to feel a little bit of that with Tampa Bay as well. Certain teams, you watch them execute an offensive plan. When you watch Green Bay, you see there's an offensive plan that's put in place, and they're executing it. Certain teams, when you watch Carolina last year, I remember mentioning that to when I had Mr. Feist on to show. Carolina last year and now Tampa Bay this year. When I watch their games, I somewhat miss the offensive scheme. I don't see, what this team's practiced all week and what they're trying to do or any type of offense that they're really doing. I see some plays that they run, and then I see some breakdowns, Jameis scramble around, and then some deep throws, and then all of a sudden it looks incredible. So I just had that play. I call it the playground effect, which I see out of them, and they do have a little bit of magic this year. The one thing I do like about Tampa Bay, I like the leadership from Jameis Winston. I think that's been a big part of what's got this team together and executing properly. I do like the head coach and the coaching staff and what they've been able to do with this team. So I will give them some props on that. Personally, though, I don't think that they beat the Cowboys.
I've been a big Doug Martin fan for several years now. And
Okay.
It just seems like every single week I have him in Fantasy Dream. You know what I mean? Because, he's relatively decently priced and he puts up some points. And when you look at it, Mike Evans has been a beast for them too. So I think, I don't think they're a pushover here. I think that Dallas, with that defense and with that secondary, Tampa Bay might be able to keep this game a little tight.
Well, no, I think Tampa Bay will be able to keep it a little tight. I don't think Tampa Bay poses quite the threat to the Cowboys. I just don't. I don't think so.
All right. Big ups to my man Fast Eddie for sending me some incredible photos, trying to bring back and resurrect Freaky Friday Dream. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So getting back to last night's game, what was your thoughts on Jared Goff? You think he's going to be a good quarterback or not?
Well, good quarterback or not, it's going to be. Listen, you're only as good as the people around you.
I agree.
Okay, if you don't get him protected right, then he's not going to be good. If you don't get him, I mean, I think he has formidable weapons. You got a great running back in Gurley. Well, a good running back in Gurley. I don't know about great, but very good running back in Gurley.
Yep.
I mean, he had a good season prior to this year, so a good running back in Gurley. You know, there are some weapons offensively. Martin's, you know, pretty formidable wide receiver. Figuring out a way to get him involved in the game should be able to work. And you got a couple other attitudes. Thomas isn't too bad either. So I think he's got some weapons as far as that's concerned. The first thing that they've got to do is they're going to have to get the coach dead right, find a proper coach to get in there and work with them, which I don't know who that is. They're talking about the usual suspects, of course. They want to get Gruden. And I would love if they get Gruden because I hate Gruden on Monday Night Football, so I wish he would go coach them.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I don't think he's going to go coach them. And I don't think any of the guys that right now are at the desks, I don't think any of those guys want to coach again. I don't think Cowher wants to coach.
I know.
I don't think Gruden wants to coach. I don't think any of those guys that are at the desk want to coach again. So you might want to look into the collegiate ranks. I'd love for you to take Chip Kelly off of San Fran's hands so the Niners could improve, but that won't help Jared Goff at all.
You know, they have to have, like, I mean, just Cowher's on what? He's on a couple of different shows, right?
Sure.
All right. So if you look at his schedule, I mean, do they really travel that much?
Who
Because the NFL Today and all that, isn't that like in the same place at all times?
Yeah, right, exactly. They don't travel a whole hell of a lot. No.
Nah, man. And I mean, Boomer, I got to be honest with you about him. I mean, he does the radio show first thing in the mornings.
Yep.
And he has to do like Monday Night Football and stuff like that, or whatever he does. Does he do Sunday night or Monday night? I'm not sure what it is.
Sunday night.
But I mean, he's got to like rearrange his schedule. He doesn't get sleep at
both,
times. Yeah, he's crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah, he's got a hectic schedule. He's very busy on the broadcasting end. But they're not looking at him for a coach.
No. I'm just saying. You know, in comparison to like a Gruden or Cowher or one of those.
Well,
guys.
they grab Herm since Herm could take him straight to the Super Bowl next year. Because Herm sits on ESPN right now and is telling every team how to be dope, which I love.
That's your boy, buddy. That's your boy. Oh, man. So good morning, everybody. SBTV Nation. We are live on all the social media outlets, including Twitter, and just looking forward to hearing what everybody's got to say about collegiate and pro sports. Dream, Craig Sager has passed away.
Yes.
So thoughts and prayers are out to the friends and family of Mr. Sager. He's a great commentator. And you know what? They kept him going till the end.
Yeah, they did.
You know, and I thought that was a real class act.
Yeah, I think that was a real class act too. Some things they have gotten right with certain people, and I liked him. I definitely think they did a great job with him as far as that's concerned.
Right on. So what else you got, brother?
Pat,
yes.
Listen, in case you guys don't know what's going on, I guess there's some issues going on in Michigan as far as Michigan football is concerned. There is an alleged sexual assault. I said alleged. Remember, alleged. Okay, something went down in September. 10 kids off the school have been suspended. The rest of the team has decided that they're going to boycott. This makes for ugly situations as far as moving forward. As far as this Minnesota team is concerned, there's a lot of chaos going on right now. The school's being very mum about what they're letting the kids know and what they're not letting the kids know. So the kids have opted to. Now, the only thing I'll say is, I love supporting your teammates and all that's concerned. However, the subject matter is kind of sensitive.
Sure.
So God forbid that whatever the allegations are, if they really did happen. Now, like, I don't some people have come out and say it's great that the kids are supporting, and I kind of hear that a little bit until I think about the allegations, because if it is of a sexual assault manner, now all of a sudden you're supporting some guys that may have done some really bad things. So I don't really know how you handle that or where you go with that, but I'm just reporting the story as it's being told on ESPN. I don't have a side on this particular matter. I don't know what happened or what didn't happen, but moving forward, we're going to have to take a look at that as far as it's concerned, and it should make for very interesting in the bowl situation.
Yeah, definitely. And correction, that is not Michigan, it's Minnesota, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Minnesota.
Right.
Jeez, that's Michigan.
I was checking my play. I'm like, oh, is it still going?
No, I'm
I
sorry.
got the
No,
marathon.
it was Minnesota. I'm sorry. It's Minnesota. And apparently they're talking about they're thinking about getting a replacement for Minnesota in their bowl now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're going to boycott it. So this is going to be interesting.
It is going to be very interesting. So,
And by the way, going to cost the school.
yeah, big time.
It's going to cost the school. I don't know what's happening, but trust me, Cats is scrambling right now trying to get this thing together because the school is gonna cost. But they are talking about Northern Illinois would be a replacement for Minnesota in the bowl should they boycott this game. So very interesting.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, we are gonna have to keep has this ever happened before? I don't think this ever happened before.
I don't remember in my lifetime that ever happening. But, I could be wrong. But anyway, hey, it is what it is. And it just hopefully nothing comes out of it. Hopefully nothing happened that was wrongdoing and they can get back to playing football. You know what I mean?
No
What
doubt.
a distraction. But, Dream, I got a little politics on my brain.
We've been waiting for this. Listen, I've gotten so much DMs from so many people in reference to what you were going to talk about Trump. Now, keep in mind, don't make yourself look silly.
Don't make myself look silly. You mean like the Democratic Party is making themselves look silly?
Don't make yourself look silly. Listen, those people too, by the way, I agree with you. They do look silly.
Oh,
the
they look
Democratic
so
Party,
silly.
the Hillary supporters, I mean, come on.
All right.
Look, okay, I'm not the happiest that Trump is in office neither. But here's my thing. Now that he's in office, okay, this is what some people don't get. And it's what people don't get about Obama either. If Trump makes the country better, it's better for me. I live in the country too. So yeah, while I may not agree with him and may not want him in there, I mean, I'm not gonna be against him. Now, anything he does wrong, I will be right there in the media talking crap like everybody else did, because that's just how we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? We will ridicule it if it's wrong. But as far as I don't want him. I want him to succeed. I don't want him to. If he succeeds, that makes my life easier. I don't want him to fail.
I agree. So Trump's going around, and Dream, at this point, they're laughing. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Because first things first, the Democratic Party are making them, and the Green Party, which we're going to laugh about real quick. But first things first is, they keep coming up with all these excuses. And, there's fraud, there's voter fraud. And this woman by the name of Jill Stein, I don't know if you know who she is.
I do.
You do, right? Well, you finally do, because nobody else knew who she was. Because I think she got like 2 million votes or something like that total in the U.S. election. She was actually running for president, Dream. So she was a Green Party candidate and raised all this money to get this recount, right? So saying that there's voter fraud and, things were hacked and all this other BS, right? Sure enough, she does it in Wisconsin, and Trump gets more votes after the recount. So she made herself look like a complete idiot. She went on Fox News. Chris Wallace made her look like a complete clown. She should just go away because she's really making it look stupid. Now, so that didn't work. So now the Democrats, they're trying to play this whole Russia thing, that Russia hacked the election, Dream. You're just making yourself look. I mean, it's just one excuse after another. Guys, listen, you know what? I was a Trump supporter. I was. You know what? And a lot of people, get mad at me because of that. Whatever. It is what it is. Like you said, Dream, you know what? You want the country to succeed, and you want the country to be a better place and a safer place and a more profitable place and all that. So you know what, guys? Listen, you know what? I think all these protests and all this stuff that's going on, where did it get them, Dream?
It doesn't necessarily get him anywhere, but I do think that sometimes protesting and what you in those methods, at least it's a voice for you to understand that the people are not happy with XYZ. It doesn't. I don't think that it makes any serious changes, but it's still, if you're quiet though, here's the thing. It may not get you nowhere, but if you're quiet, that's getting you nowhere.
Yeah, but you're not getting anywhere by sitting in the streets and doing nothing and not going to work.
First of all, stop with the not. First of all, we don't know whether the people who have protested have jobs or not. So stop acting like it's people with no jobs. Because there's people with some jobs out there protesting.
So what
there's
they
some people complaining
they took the day off? Come on.
It's everybody's First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
All right.
It's freedom of speech in this country, okay? I don't want to compare apple to oranges. However, if some people years ago never protested or never spoke up, we would still be on the back of the bus, and you know what I'm talking about. So let's let everybody have their freedom of speech. I got no problem with that. Now, as far as any type of violence, I'm not down with that, and I don't think you should be doing that. But people, if you feel obliged to do so, and you feel like things were wrong, and you don't agree with it, I got no problem with you, being vocal about it. That's okay. That's your right.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Well, when it comes to like trying to come in the way of big events and stuff that's really what's the word I'm looking for? Something that the country cherishes, like AKA the Army-Navy game. Okay. Where they wanted to go and protest it because Trump was going to beat her. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? That's that's something that a lot of people cherish and enjoy. And there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of people that are happy about that game. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of dumb, in my opinion anyway. But anyway, Dream, make a long story short, regardless of what you do, you're not going to change the election results. Trump is going to be the president, and that's it. So you got to deal with him for at least 4 years, Dream. Like it or not. It's just the way it is. And you know what? I'm almost happy. Well, I am happy that Hillary didn't get elected because do you realize that she's in some major hot water?
Oh, God. Stop.
I'm serious.
Please
The Clinton Foundation is being investigated for fraud and money laundering.
I said don't play yourself.
I'm telling you.
Listen,
they're
all
continuing
those
this investigation.
Politicians, if you look really closely with a microscope, is issues. But let me just say this one thing about Donald Trump in protesting in the comments. You know Trump owns the hotel in Washington or whatever. He's going to have to do something with that. And by the way, if they were quiet about it, that might have been something that might have been overlooked. So you could say what you want. Some of this stuff does get out in the open and does put a little pressure on people to do the right things. It lets politics and other investigating sources know that the people are at least aware.
How do you feel about the thank you tour he's doing?
I don't know. I listen. I don't. I want Trump, get in office and do your thing. All right. I forget the thank yous because it's all BS. Because I seen him talking with people and breaking bread with people that he was vehemently against. I mean, he sat down with Romney and he's talked with a couple other people. They were at each other's throats 6 months ago. It's all nonsense. I mean, I know the type of personality Trump is. The Trump's thank you tour is really a kiss my ass tour. That's what that is. I won, kiss my ass, ha ha ha. That's what that's all about. And that's what that's all about.
I don't know.
Oh, stop it. That's him gloating. So, but my whole thing is he keeps complaining about some of the rhetoric that's coming out about him. Dude, you are going to get bombarded for the next 4 years. Oh, yeah. If you think this is something, the next 4 years, he is going to get bombarded with every decision he makes. And the one thing I will say about Trump that I do like right now, I thought Obama had a lot of attention on him when he got elected. Trump's got like triple what Obama.
Oh, yeah. Big time. He's under the microscope big time. I mean, and you got it. At the end of the day, Dream, you're living a lavish billionaire lifestyle to go and get ridiculed by everybody and not make a penny from it. He's not taking a salary at all for being a president. Not that he needs it, but I'm just saying.
What do you mean he's not taking? He said he's giving it away?
No, he's not taking a dime. He's not taking a dime as far as the president. So
what's he doing with salary money, though? Because it's there.
I don't know. It's probably going somewhere else. I have no idea where that's going. So
I don't think he's the first president to do that, though. Okay. I think I think like Kennedy started that, dude. So that's not. That's just letting you. By the way, nobody that's been president, even back to George Washington, has been broke.
Yeah, right.
All right, it's not like they hired me to be president, and I'm up in Happy's.
Well, all I got to say is that I'm just happy that we don't have a president that's under investigation right now.
Because
we would have had an issue.
So let me get this right. So you think that Donald Trump is squeaky clean?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay, thank you. Do you think that they really couldn't find something to investigate him on?
Not when you're paying for your daughter's wedding with foundation money, Dream. Come on.
Hey, stop.
Come on, Dream.
Stop.
Open your eyes, baby.
Stop.
Open your eyes.
We don't know. I don't think we know enough about
She's
either
gonna be
camp.
locked up.
I'm not going on any of those frivolous allegations.
Lock
Stop
her up,
trying to
baby.
bash Hillary. It's over. Trump won. Move on. All good.
All right. Let's get back to sports, Dream. That was a good conversation, though. I'm pretty involved in it now. I kind of like watching this stuff. I watch a little Hannity at night. I watch CNN and watch them bash Trump and all that. It's pretty interesting. So, Dream, moving on here.
I just want to see Trump build the wall.
Yeah.
Listen, one of the funniest jokes, I don't know if you remember, I'm going to see if I can dig it up, but one of the funniest jokes was when Trump first talked about that, building the wall, there was this one joke with Kermit the Frog, and it says, they say that building a wall won't help, and then Kermit the Frog sit there and he says, well, China built a wall. How many Mexicans do they have? And I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
That's none of my business, though.
That was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, the Kermit the Frog memes are great.
Remember that one?
Yeah. I like the dark side ones where it's like him and then he's got the hooded side. That's good, man. So anyway, Dream, moving on here. We got a big slate. Bowl season starts tomorrow.
Bowl season starts tomorrow, and it starts off real ugly. Although the Houston Cougars are playing San Diego State tomorrow.
So we're going to have that conversation with the evil genius when it comes on, and that line has jumped. It was Houston -2.5. It's up to -4. Something interesting there, Dream. Movement.
Something very interesting,
Movement.
especially... I don't know what you get from Houston, and we will definitely get into this a little bit tomorrow. So, guys, another reason to listen to us tomorrow, especially to hear Dr. Dan's standpoint. But you just don't know what you're going to get from Houston right now. I would expect you're going to get, Greg Ward's preview for the NFL. I'm hoping, but I'm a little bit nervous.
Exactly. So, some other games that are going on. You got, let's see, the Gildan New Mexico Bowl, New Mexico versus Texas San Antonio. That starts at 2 o'clock. 3:30, you got the Houston San Diego State game. That's the Las Vegas Bowl. 5:30, you got Appalachian State and Toledo. That's the Raycom Media. What is this? Camellia Bowl. Okay.
I love the names of the bowl.
Right. Then you got the Auto Nation Cure Bowl. You've got UCF with Arkansas State. And at 9 o'clock, you got Southern Mississippi, Louisiana Lafayette, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Damn, they keep switching these up, huh?
Well, yeah, because some, they get a new they find a new sponsor, like me and you decide we want to get a bowl, and we get one. So it's the SBTV Biggest Show in the World Bowl.
Right on. What's cool, though, is you got games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All like going on now for days,
right?
Like straight through, except for Christmas Day, obviously. But and Dream, on Monday the 26th, you have one game at 11 o'clock a.m. And I believe that the Louisville game is an 11 o'clock or 2 because they didn't want to compete with the NFL. So that's something pretty interesting as well, Dream.
Very interesting. And it will be interesting to take a look at the ratings because this is one of the first years that I can remember that we did have the bowls go off on a Sunday with pro football.
Yeah, it's December 31st. You got LSU and Louisville is an 11 o'clock start along with Georgia Tech and Kentucky. So they're trying not to compete with the NFL. Interesting. So let's move on, Dream. What else you got here? I see you got some notes about the NCAA rankings.
NCAA rankings are out, guys. We haven't paid a lot of attention to them this season so far, but we are going to get into it moving forward. First of all, it's been about trying to get the show up and running, which has been, it's been an event within itself. The second thing we've been talking about is, we've obviously been knee-deep in football, pro football, and in collegiate, but the NCAA basketball has been going on, and we do know the flip-flopping that goes on in NCAA basketball. Right now, Villanova is ranked number 1, followed by UCLA, Kansas, Baylor, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Indiana, and Creighton are your top 10. Sitting right on the outside is Louisville, who I don't know if anybody's seen Louisville or not, but I do expect Louisville to get back into that top 10 mix. They are 9-1. I think Louisville's very improved this season. They weren't bad last season, but they were amidst all the controversies of the party. Yes. You guys know about the party in Louisville. Anyway, they had that stuff going on behind the scenes. And isn't it really unique how certain places, certain situations, they're able to just kind of, as Hat says, walk in between the raindrops and kind of just like, haven't we all forgot about that? It was only last year.
Keep it moving, right? They just
you know what I mean? Certain people can keep it moving, and certain people, we talk about it forever. But anyway, I expect Louisville to inch their way back into this top 10. Villanova, good team. I don't think they're better than last year. I know they're number 1. I think that might be a little bit overrated, but it's early in the season, and this is how it's going to go. I mean, we know the 1 and 2. The top 5 spots are going to flip-flop probably all season long. You know how this happens.
That always goes down. Yeah.
Villanova catches a loss on the road somewhere. They drop out of 1. UCLA will get up there. I have been impressed what I've seen out of UCLA so far this season. Haven't seen a lot of them, but I have seen a couple of games. They have been quite impressive. Duke, listen, I don't know about Duke this year. I know they're number 5 right now. Duke was number 1, by the way. I think they have an issue running the floor. There's an athleticism issue with Duke. This Duke team reminds me of Duke teams from a few years past, and not necessarily the team that won. I think Duke. I want to say right now, I'm struggling with Duke in the top 10 right now. I think Duke should be maybe on the outside of that, but whatever. They are Duke, and Coach K knows how to get a win, and knows how to coach his guys. So you always give them a little bit of extra push. Kentucky. I'm impressed with Kentucky.
Okay.
I think Kentucky's got one of those type of teams that's going to be able to go far if he can reach them and he can get them to do what he wants them to do and execute the way he wants them to execute. I think Kentucky's got a huge upside. I also think North Carolina, as far as their talent, their height, their athleticism, also has a huge upside. But both these situations, the kids got to get on page with the coaching staff and do what they've said. I give Calipari a bigger nod because I just like him as a head coach a little bit more than I like Roy Williams. That's just, and that's a personal thing with me. I just think Calipari knows how to handle this, to me, just a little bit better than Roy Williams. I mean, it's not by a lot, but I just like Calipari better than Roy Williams as a head coach.
All right. And my boy Joseph Del Rosario is talking to me about the overs with the UCLA Bruins. And
okay.
You know what? They've been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-3 on the overs, Dream.
Okay.
Not bad. A lot of points being scored with this organization.
This UCLA team is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I've seen them. I was very impressed. Pretty good. What I also find mind-boggling is if you look at the top leading scorers in college basketball, none of them belong to the top 5 schools.
Interesting.
So you're talking about some schools, a la Villanova kind of last year, trying to get more of a team effort than necessarily. I mean, we've seen in college basketball over the years, there's those 1 to 2 to 3, great point guards that kind of just run the show on their teams. I think we're seeing, this year, and with the success of Villanova last season, I think we're seeing this season more of a team effort. Even in Kentucky, where we've seen Kentucky over the years have like 1 to 2 really great guys, and then the rest of the guys kind of stand around and rebound and pass on the ball. Yeah. I think we're starting to move away from that in college basketball and get more back into team play, which to me, that's the way to win.
All right, sounds good. And I'm looking at the future odds right now. The Dukies are plus 350 to win the whole thing, favored. out of everybody. UCLA plus 750, Kentucky plus 800.
I don't see Duke, man. I
don't either.
I don't see the athleticism with Duke. I just struggle with them.
Yeah. You got North Carolina plus 900 and Kansas plus 1,000, along with Villanova plus 1,200, Dream. So that's pretty much the top 6 as far as the odds to win the national championship. So let's move on, brother. Let's talk about the NBA tonight. It's Friday.
Dude, it's Friday, and I got news for you. I don't like none of the NBA this evening.
Really?
I don't like none of the NBA this evening at all.
All right, let's take a look at some of the matchups and have a conversation because, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. It does look ugly, Dream.
Looks very ugly.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see anything at all that I would be interested in. You know, maybe the Utah Jazz, but, I mean, they're giving 12 points to Dallas. You know, Dallas stinks really bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't Dream. There's nothing on here at all. Guys, this is a Friday evening to hang out with your brides. Go out on a date. Go get some ladies if you're single. Go do some Christmas shopping. Hang out with your kids. Do whatever because I don't see anything. Bowl season starts tomorrow, guys. That's all I'm going to say about that. How about on the ice? You got anything there?
Let me dip over to the ices. Last night, the ice was pretty good to us. Before we just scoot out of NBA, I just want to mention, media's already talked about the Bulls and Dwayne Wade. The media's been a little bit on their case. Dwayne Wade said he's not worried. There's not an issue. We know that hoop teams tend to respond to what's going on in the media. They do have Milwaukee coming in tonight.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, pretty decent team, except Milwaukee's 3-6 on the road. They don't play that great on the road. The Bulls are 7-4 at home. You might see a little bit of extra effort out of the Bulls this evening as the media has been a little bit popping. It's not a game that I'm playing, but I'm just letting you know of what's going on behind the scenes. So you might catch some extra effort out of the Bulls. Also, most improved teams, the battle of the most improved teams since last year. Lakers are playing the 76ers. Very interesting game to watch. To watch only, just keep track of. I wouldn't get involved in it personally, but that would be it as far as the NBA is concerned. Just want to let you guys know about that.
I don't see anything.
From the hockey standpoint, last night I did talk about with you guys. I talked about the Blues and I talked about the New Jersey Devils not playing good, and then I also talked about the Dallas Stars not being good and the New York Rangers coming into town. All of that came to fruition last evening, so hopefully it was able to work. I also did like the Maple Leafs to beat the Arizona Coyotes because I don't think the Coyotes are good again, and it went to overtime and Toronto was not able to win that game. But the other two I was really strong about, especially St. Louis. St. Louis was a laugher for the most part. As far as this evening's concerned, let's see what we got going on. And guys, do remember, 9:42 in the morning, I haven't heard if there's going to be any injuries or, we haven't checked our goalies. Remember, always got to check your goalies before these games. Hockey's probably the one sport you almost never want to put your play in too early. San Jose Sharks are facing off against the Montreal Canadiens. Stay away from that particular matchup. But that should be a great game to watch. Blues are playing the Flames.
Got a couple of teams that are riding 7-game winning streaks tonight. Dream, you got the Pittsburgh Penguins, and you have, believe it or not, the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Columbus Blue Jackets. Listen, Columbus Blue Jackets, I know that they're good. I have played them in specific spots this season, and they punched me in the face. You know how leery I am? Once you do that to me like a couple times, now I can't mess with you because I'm looking for that old reliable. Right now, old reliable has been San Jose Sharks, and the Montreal Canadiens have been old reliables with going against Dallas Stars. The Blue Jackets, not necessarily in that category for me. So, it does look like a game the Blue Jackets should get. I would stay away from the Blue Jackets on the road. I'm not going to travel near. I don't like the hockey matchup tonight. Guys, get to the mall. Get your Christmas shopping done. As far as I'm concerned, you got plenty of stuff this weekend. We obviously got a bowl game tomorrow. College basketball's back in swing, full slate. College hoop tomorrow, all day and all night. Again, Saturday's college hoop is back on. And then Sunday, you got some more of the NFL, and you got playoff implications with the NFL, so you got some must-win spots for some specific teams.
And tomorrow night is the Jets in Miami as well.
Oh, tomorrow night's Jets in Miami. I know you can't wait.
Can't wait.
To preview.
Can't wait.
The Jets in Miami.
Matt Moore at the helm. Pick him on your fantasy team, guys. Matt Moore.
What a great game the NFL put. What great games the NFL have put forth for us on prime time.
Well, that one there, I would not pick any of those players as far as fantasy is concerned, because you're going to have 100% chance of rain. Cold, rainy game. Dream, you know that the tickets start at $13 for that game.
Yeah, and that they should actually give those away as Christmas presents. If anybody that wants to show up wearing either team's jersey gets in free
Yeah.
with one beer.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, time to roll, brother. What do you got to do to close out?
Also, you might want to start a Jai. Jai might be good.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. Not in the rain. I don't like.
I look so forward to seeing the Miami Dolphins in the playoffs this season, as I have already talked with my accountant. And even though I told you guys I was down a little bit yesterday, the accountant has offered me a line of credit, unlimited, to bet against the Miami Dolphins should they rear their heads into the playoffs.
Why, if they got to go to Heinz Field first game?
Yeah, I'm all over them getting murdered. I'm all over the fish fry. I hate it when I call the fish fry, because Sunday, when the Dolphins were winning, he said, "What's up with the fish fry?
Yeah,
What's up with the fish fry?"
Right on. And you know what? You ate your words, brother.
I didn't eat my words. It's just something I like to say whenever the Dolphins are playing. I do like to say that word.
You made the show look
fish
bad.
fry.
You opened the show with saying the Miami Dolphins are going to get smoked.
Yeah, but it was
looking.
against Aiden and Zizzer. When we did the breakdown, I backed out and said, I don't know if I get involved in this game because Aiden and Zizzer stinks on the road too. Dr. Dizzle went with the total annihilation, not me.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Gang, it's been a ball. It's been fun. It's been Friday. Please, the night is kind of dusty. You got a full weekend slate of gambling to go. If you haven't gotten those gifts for your loved ones, get out there and get them. I don't say you got to go to the mall, kid. Amazon will get you your stuff on time.
No doubt.
Trust me, because I'm an Amazonian. The UPS driver, me and him know each other first name basis when he comes to that. Matter of fact, I might have to get him a little $5 Dunkin' Donuts gift card because he comes to the crib so much. So get out there and do your things. Don't forget about your folks. Don't forget about your loved ones. Christmas time. I always talk about, enjoying the people while they're here. I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show. Terrence Mack, Jason Riley, Buster Carr, Easy Money, Vegas Girl 92661, Thierry Bouchard. We got Railroad King. Welcome to the party. C. Rodriguez Jr., my man Irvin. What's going on, Irv? Irv, how you doing with that suicide thing? Let us know. OJFB is out there. Joseph Del Rosario, JDH24, Sir Mata's in the house, Fast Eddie 72, Rick Lopez, Wayne Yarbrough. All our faithful on and pumping and popping us off, taking care of your boys. Listen, gang, we are the biggest show in the world. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you're with. Make the most of each and every day, because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir, Dream. So, guys, enjoy your Friday today. Close out your week. Get ready, because next week is going to be probably a little bit of a slower week for people as to getting ready for the holiday. Probably the next couple weeks, but not your boy. If you want to go and make your life great, you got to work your ass off for it. And do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do in life and get that money. Let's go.